As moms, we're blessed with more than one opportunity a year for a fresh start, and fall feels like our bonus reset. After the slower pace of summer, we're making plans for new schedules, new routines, and new opportunities. But while we're getting everyone else ready, what about us? Today, we're talking about our own routine reset. Simple ways to make a little bit more room for ourselves, enjoy the rhythm of our days, and start this new season feeling refreshed too. Welcome to Raising Boys with Purpose, a Christian parenting podcast for moms raising teens and young adult sons. I'm Brooke, a boy mom and parenting coach, and here we talk about raising sons, building character, and preparing our boys for adulthood with confidence and faith. For more encouragement and conversation throughout the week, come join our Raising Boys with Purpose Facebook group. The link for all my social media is in the description. We've been developing routines for our families since our children were born. There's always been a certain rhythm to life, and that rhythm changes as our children grow. For years, so much of our routine has revolved around everyone else. Getting kids up, getting them where they need to go, keeping track of practices, appointments, homework, meals, and all the things. But as our sons get older, some of that begins to change. They become more independent, and little pockets of time begin opening up. So as we head into a new season, what if we looked at those pockets of time a little differently? What if this fresh start of fall could be an opportunity to reset our routines? Not only to help our homes run more smoothly, but to help us run a little bit more smoothly too. As our sons got older, I started noticing that their growing independence was freeing up time for me. Now, they still had plenty of activities that I was involved in, and life certainly wasn't quiet. But I wasn't getting them ready every morning or helping them through bedtime routines anymore. Those little pieces of my day that had belonged to taking care of them were slowly becoming mine again. And I started thinking about how I might use that time. Because it's really easy to just fill it in with something else. There's always another load of laundry, another email, another project, or something around the house that needs to be done. But maybe we don't have to immediately fill every bit of newly available time with another responsibility. Maybe some of it can simply become ours. And when I say time, I'm not necessarily talking about hours. Sometimes an extra 15 minutes here or there can make a surprising difference. The goal of a routine reset isn't to create the perfect schedule. It's to give ourselves a little breathing room, to feel less rushed, a little bit more in control, and maybe even feel like ourselves again. So think about your own day. Where could that breathing room fit? Maybe mornings have always been hectic in your house. Depending on the age of your sons, they may not be completely independent yet, but they're probably getting closer. Maybe there's an opportunity to reclaim a few minutes at the beginning of your day. And maybe it's something you actually look forward to. Maybe it's sitting on the porch with a cup of coffee while the house is still quiet, or spending a few minutes with God before everyone starts moving. One of the easiest ways to protect that time might be simply putting a pause on your phone. Because, let's be honest, 15 minutes can disappear pretty quickly when we start scrolling. Instead, what would happen if those first few minutes of the day belong to you rather than the outside world? And then think about the middle of your day. Whether you work outside the home or you're home during the day, we can get so focused on what needs to be accomplished that we forget to stop. Maybe your reset is simply getting up occasionally and moving around. Step outside for a few minutes. Eat lunch somewhere other than your desk. You don't have to completely rearrange your workday. Even choosing a couple of days a week when you intentionally take a real break can change the feel of your day. And if you commute, maybe that time can become something you enjoy rather than simply time spent going from one place to another. Listen to an audiobook you've been wanting to read. Try a devotional or a podcast. Put on music you love. Maybe there's an interest you've let go because you thought you didn't have the time for it. Your commute might become a small place where you can get some of that back. That's part of what makes a routine reset fun. We're not only asking, what do I need to get done? We're also asking, what would I enjoy? What would make this part of my day better? Even our afternoons can change as our sons get older. If you're home when they get home from work, maybe you give everyone a little buffer before jumping into homework and afternoon activities. Sit down, have a snack, hear about their day. or simply enjoy being in the same room together without immediately asking what needs to be done next. And if you're coming home from work, maybe you need that buffer too. Give yourself 15 minutes to decompress, change clothes, sit down, walk outside. Do whatever helps you make the transition from your workday into your evening. And tell your family what you're doing. There's something good about our sons seeing us recognize when we need a little space to reset. One thing I noticed as I became more intentional about giving myself time to relax and do some of the things I needed was that it opened up conversations with my boys about doing the same for themselves. Knowing when we need to step back, quiet our minds, move our bodies, or simply take a break is a learned skill. It can help us regulate stress and emotions rather than waiting until we're completely overwhelmed. And our sons need to learn that too. So maybe part of our routine reset isn't just teaching our family to respect the time we set aside for ourselves. Maybe it's creating a family where everyone recognizes that it's okay to need some downtime. What might that look like in your house? As evening approaches, think about what helps you wind down. Again, maybe the phone gets put away for a while. Maybe you take a walk with your husband or simply sit together and talk about your day. Maybe you're someone who relaxes more when you know tomorrow is under control. Take 15 minutes to look ahead, get a few things ready, and make the morning easier on yourself. Maybe evening is when you enjoy your devotional or quiet time with God. There isn't one right routine. That's really the point. This isn't about copying someone else's perfect morning routine or creating a color-coded schedule that gives you one more thing to maintain. It's about noticing what helps you feel rested, grounded, and prepared for your day, and then intentionally making more room for it. So here's something I want you to think about. How do you relax and quiet your mind? Not how you think you're supposed to relax. What actually helps you feel refreshed? And have you made room for that lately? As our sons grow and need us differently, maybe we don't have to rush to fill every space they leave behind. Some of that space can become an opportunity for us to rediscover things we enjoy, create healthier rhythms, and simply take better care of ourselves. As moms, it's easy to believe that serving our families means doing all the things. And before long, we're stretched thin and wondering why we're exhausted. But sometimes we aren't going to find the time we need. We have to intentionally make room for it. Mark 6:31 says, "Then, because so many people were coming and going that they did not even have a chance to eat, he said to them, 'Come with me by yourself to a quiet place and get some rest.'" I love that reminder because rest isn't something we have to feel guilty about. And maybe this fall is a good time to look at your schedule with fresh eyes. You don't have to overhaul your entire life. Pick one part of your day and ask yourself, what could make this better? Choose something you'll actually enjoy. Because when we make room to rest and recharge, we're not only taking better care of ourselves, we're better able to enjoy the people we love and the life that God has given us. Our sons are watching. They're learning that taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's part of learning how to live a healthy, balanced life and how to care well for the people around you. So as the routines of fall begin again, don't only think about what everyone else needs from you. Make a little room for yourself too, and have some fun deciding what you're going to do with it. If this episode of Raising Boys with Purpose encouraged you, please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of this podcast. And if you're raising a teen or young adult son and want encouragement and practical guidance, come join us in the Raising Boys with Purpose Facebook community. The link is below. Thanks for being here today. Now grab your iced coffee, hug your son, and remember, you're raising him with purpose.